Namaskar, friends. Welcome to Export Import Make in India campaign. And today in the session, we will understand sourcing. Okay, so we just start the chapter 4 named sourcing and pricing. So, aim of this chapter is defining sourcing and pricing. Okay, and explain the concept in-house and outsource supply chain. Okay, so in-house means that manufacture by the same company, and outsource means buying from another companies, and also understand the needs and effective sources decision. So let's start the session. Sourcing is the entire set of the business process required to purchase goods and services. Okay, so entire set of business, we need some purchasing, which may goods or service. So the process of selecting these sources is called sourcing. Okay, so this process include supplier scoring and assessment, supplier selection, contract negotiation, designing and collaborations, procurement, sourcing, planning, and analysis. Okay, so this sourcing for the manufacturing process are the supplying to the customer. There are some process include, which is the supplier scoring. Okay, assessment of supplier selection. Okay, so just like we have some supplier for the sourcing some raw materials or finished goods. So before that, we need to assessment of the supplier selection, that we have a right supplier or not. After selection, this process, the contract negotiations. Okay, so contract negotiation is that negotiation of the pricing, the goods we are going to purchase or service which we are going to purchase. Okay, so contract negotiation is very important. Now, designing and collaboration, procurement, sourcing and planning and analysis. Okay, after contract negotiation, designing of collaboration, procurement, sourcing. Okay, so here you need to design how will this process will be done, who will bear the expenses of the movement of goods from sources to our factory. Okay, and the planning also include. After that, we need to analysis this system whether we are doing correct designing or not. Okay, so this process is very important in the manufacturing process. Okay, so the sourcing strategy used in the supply chain include, these are the type of sourcing we can say. So this is the strategic sourcing in which management include. Any management company have some type of sourcing. So we will understand this type of sourcing. So first is single sourcing. So a single sourcing means that you will source product from one supplier. Okay, this is only one supplier. Okay, so here you are sourcing from one single supplier, that is called single sourcing. Single sourcing is the method where a purchased part supplied by only one supplier. Just in time manufacturing will frequently have only one supplier for a purchase part, so that the close relation can be established with the less number of suppliers. This close relationship mutual independence from high quality reliabilities, less time and corporate actions. Okay, so main thing need to understand whether we have to multi-sourcing or single sourcing. So before that, we can understand in some factor which influence that single sourcing. Like if you have one single sourcing, then your relationship with the manufacturer will be closely. Okay, and the supplier will focus on your product quality, okay, and reliabilities. and he can in some time he will aware properly what kind of product you need and what should be the quality regarding that. Okay, and what is the appropriate product need to supply to the company. Okay, so single sourcing will, this thing will understand after business doing with some time. Okay, because that's in single process the supplier is directly connected to with us, and he will focus on us because we only one we are depend on the one single sourcing. Okay, so sourcing is that part of from supplier. So now we will discuss about multi sourcing. Okay, so in multi sourcing methods where procurement of the goods or services is from more than one independent supplier. Okay, so in single there are only one supplier, but in multi sourcing there are more than one supplier. Okay, it is used to sometime in a company to induce healthy competition between the supplier in order to achieve high quality and lower price. Okay, so in single sourcing we depend only one single supplier. Okay, but in multi sourcing we have some options like supplier A, supplier B, supplier C, supplier D. So in the divided this supplier in four type supplier in which uh, first we will take price from this source 1 S1, then S2 and S3 and S4. So we'll check in analysis the pricing, who is the providing pricing, best pricing, then higher quality. Okay, so we'll check out these competitions. Okay, then we can understand that who is the right sourcing. Okay, so to maintain the competitions of the higher quality and lower prices, we depend on the multi sourcing. Now outsourcing. Okay, outsourcing is the process of having supplier that provide goods and services previously provide internally. Sourcing involve the replacement of the internal capacities production by their supplier. This third party can increase the supply chain surplus relative to performing the activity house. Outsourcing make sense on only if it is increase the supply chain surplus without increasing the risk. Okay, so here we are in single and multi sourcing. We depend and arrange ourselves of this process, but in outsourcing, uh, here we are totally hire some other company. We hired some other company to depend to arrange our sourcing. Okay, so here we need to go the supplier and check out whether the product is correct or not. Need to arrange the network, uh, transport also. But in outsourcing process of the goods and services, we need to handle we need to handle this we need to hand over this activity to someone else. Okay, so in this process, we appoint some another company. They will provide us as per a requirement of the goods and services. Okay, so this in this outsourcing process, we are totally have a time and not involved in this process. We focus on our product quality and other things because outsourcing will company will help us to provide us the right product. Okay, so in overall we say that the outsourcing is the process of the supplier that having goods and services previously provided internally. Outsourcing no the replacement of the internally capacity and production. Okay, then this is the third party which increase the supply chain surplus by performing activity house. Sourcing make that sense only it is increase the supply chain surplus without increasing the risk, because there is no need to arrange the supply chain management, because that outsourcing company will provide the supply chain and give us time to focus on our main activities. Now, in sourcing. Okay, so what is in sourcing? You will understand. In outsourcing, we depend on the other company. Okay, but in sourcing, what we will do? We manufacture this sourcing product ourselves. Okay, like if we buy the product. Okay, then manufacturing. So insourcing is the process where the goods and services are developed internally. Okay, so like a Honda motorcycle bike, they need there are many parts to make a bike. Okay, so some parts which Honda manufacture and develop internally, there is no need to buy from others outsource. So this process is called in-source. Okay. So guys, in this session, we have tried to understand what is the actual sourcing process and type of sourcing. So we have understand the process that we first arrange the type of service, okay, and arrange the supplier, okay, and we need to negotiate and contract with the supplier whether they're providing goods, services, good or better or not. After that, negotiation of the pricing. After negotiation, we need to arrange the networking of the supply chain. Okay, and after the arranging this, implement the process, and after that, analysis that we are doing correct or not. So, guys, in this session, we have tried to understand what is the sourcing. So, guys, thanks for watching the session. Have a nice day.